of a year where he had 20 touchdowns, but had just 11 carries last season before a wrist injury shelved him for the season. Look for him to bounce back in a huge way in 2018.
On second down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. He introduced himself with authority on that play.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Let's go!
From the gun, Murray. Being chased out left. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. A first down carry here for Johnson. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. On the defensive side of the ball, here are the starters for Denver. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
To throw on second down, Murray. And he finds Fitzgerald. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Here's Murray. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a first down.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. And you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. On first down, Murray. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Off play action. Murray. And he's got Fitzgerald. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, step it back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Let's go! Blue landing! Blue landing!
Now a handoff. Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that would be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
Murray now. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now from the 7, here's second and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Toward the pylon, caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Charles Clay, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. A very solid gain of 27. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now let's go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
To throw on second down. Murray, right side, complete to Butler. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The Pro Bowler, Chris Harris, is in on the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. A gain of 3, second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 57 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And the 11 defensive starters for Arizona.
And that means cornerback Patrick Peterson, who has an effect on every game he plays, whether it's at the cornerback position or even as a punt returner. How about this? He's been in the Pro Bowl all 7 seasons that he's been in the NFL. This guy knows how to change a game, either with an interception or a return.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Set, 3-19.
Looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. That's twice now already in this first quarter that he's been able to knock a ball away.
They're going to need that from him and plenty more if they want to slow down this passing game. Thus far, though, he's been a ball magnet.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They had a good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Now, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now here's Johnson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, you had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Johnson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in a run game. No gain.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got it 3rd and 10 here to start things out.
Set, 3-19.
Off the play fake. Murray. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Adam Gotsis with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because it's just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are. Figure out the things that they really want to accomplish and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Underneath for Johnson. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off the bootleg, Murray. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st and 10, Murray. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Derek Wolfe. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, every now and then you just absolutely outguess yourself. 3rd and inches, and they decide not to run the ball. You end up seeing the end result.
The end result was not good. They elect to pass, and it backfires. Now the former Sun Devil, Zane Gonzalez, for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And that will knot us up at 10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back to throw here. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Terrell Suggs in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
look to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. Now 2 picks thrown by the rookie here on the road in this one in hostile territory.
And you know the discussion all week, any week, is take care of the football. But it's especially important on the road. And now he's made his team's task that much more difficult with these interceptions.
Yeah, a pair of first-half picks. We'll see how he bounces back later. Right now, their defense needs to respond. The Cardinals' offense now works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back to throw. Murray. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go. 3,
Operating from the gun, Murray. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Well, let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Murray. A minute 57 to go in this first half. More from the desert after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray. Sideline throw. It's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
To throw on 2nd down. Murray dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. 47
Back to throw. Murray over the middle and caught by the tight end play. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On 4th down, Murray. That's to his running back, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On first down, Murray. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The All-Pro Von Miller there defensively. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Murray. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll get back with you shortly. But first, let's take a look at what's coming up this weekend around the NFL. Some great games coming up this weekend. The first one is an early start, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, as it's the Titans and Chargers in London. As for the late afternoon games, plenty of intrigue there as well. One of the best being at FedEx Field, where it'll be the Redskins taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And finally, Monday Night Football, a big-time battle down in Atlanta, as the Giants will be in town to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The safety boot of Baker there to force the incompletion. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Here we go now. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Here we go now.
Now back to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. For the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, this from 53. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. That's complete to Butler. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, Murray. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Murray. They'll roll him out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Green.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Johnson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Operating from the gun. Murray. That's caught at the 3. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Charles Clay, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2. They'll try and run for it with Johnson. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to, because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker.
Here we go.
But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
get
this
a little
time?
closer.
Yeah, or, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's fourth.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, third and long, thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gonzalez to add the PAT. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. And give him a gain of 37.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10.
Let's go. Green,
They'll set up to throw.
39.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
3-19.
He'll get it up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And that is incomplete.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing them.
And McManus able to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they won't end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. Off-play action. Murray. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Green 39!
The busy night continues for Johnson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Murray now. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And he's got this down to the 35. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
This quarterback now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go! Blue landing!
Off the bootleg. Murray. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. On to stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And this one's incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Johnson running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
So out comes the field goal team once more. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Fighting through pressure. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
They'll look to throw. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 26. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
And they pick up the first down on a fourth down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped them on third down or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
As the field starts to get condensed, the defense likes that a lot because now you don't have as much space to cover, but a well-run corner route there.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 319.
They'll run here with Freeman. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll drop the throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Cortland Sutton with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Broncos get a bit closer. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
McManus's point after is good, and that will get him one closer. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now let's look at David Johnson, responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player having that type of a day because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray has got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
Pass to David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and that will make this a 19-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's David Johnson who provides the capper as he scores on the touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sutton. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that
way. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to let it fly. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're in the NFL too for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Johnson on the counter, and he's going to get this one down to the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Arizona, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3 and 4 through 7 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Cardinals as we say so long from Glendale.